Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, before we talk about the impact of the economy with the reopening of the borders, I think we have to understand what actually happened to the economy with the closure of the borders. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we know that prior to COVID-19, the tourism sector contributed about $2 billion a year in foreign exchange earnings for us. But of course, due to the COVID-19, over 100,000 people lost their jobs, and we saw visitor numbers drop significantly, sir. It dropped to negative 83.5% in 2020, and further dropped to 78.5% in 2021. Tourism earnings, of course, declined significantly during this period, sir, to only $314.9 million in 2020 and $36.5 million in 2021. We lost overall, Mr. Speaker, sir, about $4 billion in tourism earnings over the past 2 years. Mr. Speaker, sir, therefore, the vaccination rate of Fiji and the drive towards vaccination, no jab, no job policy, etc., helped us very quickly reach that level of vaccination, or that level of vaccination rate that actually helped us to open up the border, sir, from the 1st of December. So we've now seen the numbers actually creep back up. And the numbers, Mr. Speaker, sir, after the 1st of December was visitor arrivals noted a significant increase, where 23,226 visitors were recorded for the month of December, of which 77.1%, sir, were Australians, 15.1% from the USA, the rest from other source destinations, Mr. Speaker, sir. In January 2022, sir, a total of 16,502 visitors arrived, and for February, we recorded 11,014 visitors. The forecast for March, Mr. Speaker, sir, stood at around 15,300 visitor arrivals. From December 2021, Mr. Speaker, sir, to February 2022, a total of 50,742 visitors arrived onto the Fijian shores, Mr. Speaker, sir, registering a 17% increase in the last 3-month visitor arrivals. Of this, sir, again, as I highlighted, 84% came for holidays, which is about 42,398. 9%, which is about 4,573, came to visit their friends and relatives, and 2% came for business reasons, and 5%, Mr. Speaker, sir, or 2,764 came for other reasons. Mr. Speaker, sir, the highest number of visitor arrivals, as highlighted earlier on, came from Australia from December 2021 to February 2022. This is followed by USA, 6,671 or 13.1%, and 8.3% of 4,189, from other countries. These other countries, of course, Mr. Speaker, sir, included Hong Kong, India, South Korea, Japan, UK, continental Europe, Pacific Island countries, China, Canada. Mr. Speaker, sir, in terms of the outlook, what we're seeing, we're expecting in 2022 overall, sir, the number of total visitor arrivals to grow by about 1,314%. Of course, it's that high because we had only 34,000 visitors last year. We started from a very lower base. We expect 447,000 visitors to come to Fiji. The ANZ report, Mr. Speaker, sir, which is available publicly, a lot more bullish in their projections. They expect 600,000 visitors to come to Fiji. We hope that they are right and we are wrong, sir. And again, we expect the total visitor arrivals in 2024 to go back to pre-pandemic levels. So another 2 years of being below pre-pandemic levels. Mr. Speaker, sir, the onward forward monthly tourist booking until July has exceeded our early expectations, and visitor arrivals are expected to surpass our current projections much sooner than expected. Tourism Fiji expects around 129,804 visitors between April to July of this year, as we approach the peak season, with many visitors flocking to our shores for holidays in the coming months, sir. Of course, this has led to a great sense of optimism, in particular with the hotel industry and the tourism sector overall. April so far, Mr. Speaker, says, is expected to be our biggest month yet for arrivals, when we're expecting between 30 to 35,000 visitors. The recent relaxation of travel restrictions or requirements by New Zealand, which used to be our second largest source market, is also expected to boost arrivals. Recent news indicate that the level of bookings for international travel insurance among New Zealanders is incredibly strong. The New Zealand-based Southern Cross Travel Insurance Agency reported a 2,000% increase in travel insurance bookings recently. We also expect further increases from Europe, Asia, Middle East and South Pacific markets. Regarding Fiji Airways, sir, travel bookings look greatly optimistic for Fiji Airways, which is about 10% lower than the levels in 2019, which is actually pretty good. If you're 10% lower, only 10% lower than 2019 numbers. Still a significant growth for us, given in particular that Fiji Airways was hardly flying in 2020 and 2021. The travel bookings on average are also growing at an encouraging rate of 10% paced every week. For Australia, the bookings are on a steady growth and is sitting at 21% above the 2019 for the next 6 months, which is great news for us. For New Zealand, while the border has just opened, the travel bookings to Fiji are growing at a weekly rate of 33%, with new bookings trending positively over 100% versus 2019. The USA, Mr. Speaker, sir, the travel bookings at the airline are currently below 2019 levels by around 30%. However, the rate of new bookings is encouraging and growing at the rate of around 10% on a weekly basis. As for the Asian route, sir, Fiji Airways only is flying to Singapore at this point in time. So we're not flying to Hong Kong, we're not flying to Narita, it's only Singapore, and in fact in the low season we're only flying once every fortnight. That will of course pick up should the numbers increase. As we know, Hong Kong is under very severe lockdown given what's happening in mainland China. Mr. Speaker, as we all know that the current recovery of the Fijian economy is very much still dependent on the tourism sector. Whilst government has been over the past number of years trying to diversify our economic base, economic risk factor, of course, Mr. Speaker, sir, we're still fairly heavily dependent on the tourism sector. This year we expect the Fijian economy to rebound by 11.3%, largely dependent on the assumption of 447,195 tourists. Honourable Gavoka may find this amusing. It is not amusing because last year we had only 34,000 tourists. So obviously if it's going to go up to 447,000, that means a huge increase, and that's why we're predicting a rebound of 11%. ANZ is predicting over 20%. Again, we hope ANZ is actually correct. Mr. Speaker, sir, a lot more people are returning to their jobs. A lot more people we're seeing in the hotel sector are returning to their jobs. I was at the Fijian hotel a couple of weeks ago, just talking to people, who are the lifeguards at the kids' swim park out in the sea. A lot of them are actually working, instead on the adult side, they're now working 6 days a week. Some people on the other side are working 4 days or 5 days a week. So with the numbers increasing, they will actually go back to full-time work. And some already are working 6 days a week, depending which segment in the hotel sector that they are in, Mr. Speaker, sir. So overall, Mr. Speaker, sir, of course, as we highlighted, that we continue to diversify our economy. As the Honourable Prime Minister, as I highlighted earlier today, was at the BPO, one of the BPOs that's open in Fiji. They started off with only about 10 jobs. Year before last, they have now about 70, 80 jobs in that company alone. It's grown to 3,000 jobs overall in the BPO sector. We obviously are providing support to that. So apart from the tourism sector, we are focusing on a number of other areas. And with the passing of the Investment Fiji Act today by Parliament, and coupling with the Investment Act, Mr. Speaker, sir, we hope that we'll be able to diversify more and, of course, get more investment overall in the economy, sir. Thank you.